Give a little time for the child within you. Don't be afraid to be young and free. Undo the locks and throw away the keys, and take off your shoes and socks and run you.
Bon boy to all. I am Jesse Thorne, America's radio sweetheart.
Bon boy. I am Jordan Morris. Boy.
Of course, we are the hosts of Jordan Jesse Go. We are also the subdoms. We are joined this week by one of the hosts of our sister Maximum Fun program, Just the Zoo of Us,
Good
Ellen
morning.
Weatherford. Hi, Ellen. How are you?
Bon Boy.
Bon
Yes.
boy to you,
Well,
indeed.
Thank you for
And Bon Boy also with you.
yes for all the Catholics in the chat. And Ellen, thank you for going
Jordan.
with this stream of nonsense that we have not explained to you. So thank you for just yes-anding it. We appreciate it.
Also Episcopalians, Jordan. Also
Okay.
Episcopalians.
I'm sorry,
As a lapsed Episcopalian, I can tell you, we also say that when someone says "bon boy" to us.
Good to know. Good to know.
You know, Jordan, the difference between Catholics and Episcopalians?
Oh man, is this a joke that you saved from Prairie Home Companion? It sounds like something that would really kill on Prairie Home Companion.
No, that's the difference between Methodists and Lutherans. Jordan.
Lutherans. Okay.
The difference between Catholics and Episcopalians is that when Catholics say egg is bird, they mean it literally, whereas when Episcopalians say it, it's a metaphor.
Gotcha.
It's a transubstantiation of egg to bird.
Exactly.
We're learning so much about the faiths of the world.
Looking at this chat, I feel like I've somehow been streamed to a different, somewhere where they're speaking a completely different language. Like this is not, I feel like I've been isekai'd into a world where I have to learn a brand new language.
Ellen, it has elements of English. It's sort of like a Creole.
Pigeon. It's a
You know what I
pigeon
mean?
sort
Yeah,
of.
it's a pidgin language. Exactly. I want to give a shout out just right off the top. We're going to get into subreddits in just a minute. I want to give a shout out. I know that I'm constantly talking about Hunter Ellenboss on Jordan Jesse Go, and especially on these streams because Hunter has been nice enough to show up in the comments very regularly. But I just want to give a shout out to Hunter, who said he just cut out the pieces for and started sewing his own shorts in an effort to be a true summer boy. That is a powerful summer boy move. Our salute to you, Hunter, for your creating sport shorts. Clarified, they're going to be sport shorts.
May they not chafe throughout the season.
You know, Jordan, Hunter is already a member of Maximum Fun, but if you're listening to this and you're not already a member of Maximum Fun, the MaxFunDrive is imminently ending. In fact, by the time you hear this, the drive may technically have ended, although we do accept your memberships through the end of the weekend. So we're in the grace period here. Go to MaximumFun.org/join. We will not turn you away, and we will get you thank you gifts. So go to MaximumFun.org/join because I'm going to be honest with you. We need your support. It's like a real thing. We actually need your support. Please go to MaximumFun.org/join. We are, as of this recording, imminently, Jordan, approaching 1,200 new and upgrading members, and I think you know what 1,200 new and upgrading members means.
Yeah, I do want to talk Alex Inc. for a hot second, but I do want to throw it to Ellen real quick while we're talking bonus content because this concerns the bonus content. We have some very unpleasant bonus content that we'll have to deal with apparently. But I wanted to see, what are y'all doing over on Just the Zoo of Us?
So we make a bonus episode every month, which was something that we started last year because of the success of the MaxFunDrive. So thank you to all the MaxFun members who were able to make that happen. So we've got now 15 bonus episodes of Just the Zoo of Us that have been built up over the last year. And this year's bonus content that dropped for the MaxFunDrive was an episode we titled Wrong Answers Only, where we had folks in our Discord submit very serious and academic and scholarly questions to our Discord, which we answered with the utmost academic rigor in a Wrong Answers Only episode. It was very fun. It was very silly. It's one of the goofiest things we've done, I think. Because we try to be right about stuff usually. And it was actually a bit of a challenge almost to like fight that urge to like, well, let me just Google this. It's like, nope.
Sure.
No. We may have accidentally stumbled into a correct answer by accident, but that was purely coincidental.
Well, you're gonna have to. It sounds like people are gonna have to listen to find out how correct you were or weren't. So what we're doing is we are watching TV and movies that have to do with podcasting or have podcasting as a plot element. It's for our show, podcast, movie podcast. Sometimes we also talk about shows. And it started out the inaugural episode. And I guess I should mention, Ellen, like your show, like your bonus content, our bonus content show also coming at you once a month. So more BOCO for your little ear mouths. Shoving it right in those ear mouths. Comp, say your ears when you're listening to our shows. So our first episode was about the one season and done season Zach Braff sitcom Alex Inc. It was really, really bad. We decided to coax our listeners by saying every 300 members, we will add a new episode of Alex Inc. We are at 1,200 new and upgrading members. Thank you to everyone. That's so awesome. But it looks like we will have to be adding 4 new episodes of Alex Inc. So we will at least have to watch half of Alex Inc. Half of the 10 season run or the 10 episode run of Alex Inc. Could we get to more? I don't know. I hope not / hope so. So I want it and I don't. But apparently we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into Alex Inc. significantly. So, will it get better? I think it will, and it will become our favorite show. And we'll watch
a lot of times those first seasons they need to like come into their own a little bit, they need some room to breathe. I don't know.
I'm hoping that the awful pilot was just a product of too many studio notes, and then they figure it out. So we will see. Yeah, exactly. Ellen, we're going to start talking subreddits. This is the show, the Subdoms, of course, where we dominate subreddits. I would love to hear your history with Reddit. Are you a user? Where do you like to go? That sort of thing.
For sure. I've been a Reddit user for, what year is this? This is 2025. So I've been a Reddit user for about 15 years. Although I am mostly a lurker. I mostly just lurk on Reddit. And also I have created and promptly forgotten the passwords to about 10 different accounts. So if you think you found my account on Reddit, you probably did. And it's kind of like a treasure map. Like you have to like find all of the pieces and put them together to form my true like mega account Voltron. So I have been on Reddit for many years and, just kind of rotate through interests, like I'll subscribe and unsubscribe to subreddits as the fandoms enter and leave my life. But I'm pretty familiar with Reddit. And you guys had already touched on some of my favorite subreddits. So I had to dig a little bit deeper in my barrel to find one that y'all had not already talked about.
Yeah, I'd love to hear more about that. Actually, what are some of your faves that we've covered, and did we miss any key posts?
I did enjoy the dank Christian memes. I had a very religious upbringing, and so dank Christian memes what has been a fun scroll from time to time. Also birding. The birding subreddit has also graced my timeline on occasion. Although I'm not a very serious birder, so I don't. A lot of that stuff goes over my head, but I do at least like to be involved in things.
One of our biggest MaxFun supporters, Susie, has a podcast called The Casual Birder you might enjoy. The casual
like I
birder.
might know
Susie,
this person.
very nice woman from England. She comes out to all our English shows and organizes meetups and stuff. Very nice of her. I just shared, Stephen, in our private chat on the stream, a really important post from r/sewing that some of our commenters revealed to us. Somebody said there was a great post on r/sewing about making shorts this week. I looked, assuming that it would be about how nice the shorts are. Instead, it is, help. Why are my shorts higher on one side?
Oh no.
Oh no.
The waistband. It's the waistband of the shorts that's that looks like a solid 2.5 inches higher on one side than the other.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the poor shorts.
What's amazing is that this person got as far as sewing the entire set of shorts together.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no seamstress. I don't understand how that happens.
I could definitely see myself like lining those pieces up and then just being like, I'm just going to trust the process. I'm just going to sew them up. Maybe it'll look better when they're sewn, you know?
Sure.
Like I
Yeah,
could see myself just being like, I'm going to see this through.
that's my level of expertise for sure. Ellen, what subreddit did you bring to us?
I brought the subreddit r/I didn't have eggs. Which
Oh, okay. I know where we're driving with this one.
I don't. Okay, I'm fascinated now. Doubly fascinated. What's
which
Jordan,
I
what's this all
realize
about?
now I've perhaps stepped into more relevant content than I expected for this
Yeah,
stream.
I think this is perfect. Jordan you would probably know this as r/I didn't have birds.
Right. Oh, right, because egg is bird. Yes, egg is bird. I'm
Yeah.
forgetting the 9 nonsensical running jokes we've accumulated over doing these streams. Yes, egg is bird. But no,
Ellen,
I've never heard of this subreddit.
Ellen, I think I know where we're headed, but can you explain to me what I didn't have eggs is?
Yes. So actually, this predates our current sort of egg economy collapse. This has been going for years. This is not just specific to like, I could not afford eggs, which I feel like maybe now it's becoming a more common phenomenon for people to not have eggs on hand. But the point of this subreddit is if you've ever if you've done a lot of home cooking, you may have looked up recipes online. And when you pull up a recipe online, a lot of times the recipes will have reviews, and people will like make the recipes, give them reviews. If the recipe turned out really good, they might give them 5 stars. If the recipe turned out really bad, they might give them like 1 star. But what you got to do is you got to read the reviews to see why they gave them, or maybe if they made any substitutions, if they changed the recipe a little bit. It's a good place to look for people to discuss the recipes. And there is a phenomenon on these online recipes of people making unhinged substitutions and replacements in these recipes that are baffling choices. And then because they make these very wild substitutions and changes to these recipes, the recipe comes out disgusting and inedible. And then the commenter will then angrily give the recipe maker a 1-star review because they made it wrong and are upset about it. And so this is just kind of a compilation of things like that happening on the internet.
Oh, amazing. Okay, this sounds fascinating. Yeah, can we throw up the first post?
And I found these posts also by doing what I think everyone should do when you find a new subreddit, which is sort by top of all time.
Uh-huh.
That's a good tip.
And this is the top post of all time on
Okay.
I Didn't Have Eggs.
Okay.
The subject of this is don't eat raw sourdough starter. The comment from Brenda is, this is bubbling and rising, but tastes foul. I had a spoonful, then my husband did. He nearly vomited. No way I'm making bread with this.
And the poster goes on to correct them. Please don't eat raw sourdough starter. It is intended to be baked with, not eaten as is. It contains raw flour, which can cause food poisoning. Ho, Brenda.
So, as someone who has done a lot of baking with more sort of edible ingredients, yeah, like you make a cookie dough or you make a cake
Yeah.
batter. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Who
Like,
doesn't? Who
I
doesn't love a
understand
little scoop
sampling.
of cookie dough when you're making cookies?
That's the best part of baking. So,
Mhm.
like, I get it, but I do feel like with the sourdough, because I actually have not made a sourdough, so I'm perhaps the wrong person to be talking about this. But I'm pretty sure the sourdough is not the sourdough starter is not the dough,
Ellen,
right?
by admitting that our listeners can no longer relate to you.
Yeah.
You're like,
They literally
Who's
just
this-
crossed your name out on their phones.
Everyone just
this-
went to MaximumFun.org and took me off of their memberships. They
right?
were like,
Yes.
no more of that.
Who's this alien?
But
Yeah,
it would be like the
Next-
sourdough starter is just like a raw ingredient. That would be like just cracking an egg directly into your mouth, like it's not
Yeah,
even
or-
the dough yet.
Eating a yeast packet, I think, would be the equivalent. Just opening the yeast
Pour it in
packet
there.
and pouring it in like you were a child eating Kool-Aid mix.
They should make pixie sticks of yeast starters.
Yeah.
This recipe turned out terrible. I didn't have walnuts and substituted change.
Yeah.
Some nuts and bolts that I had in my
Right?
junk drawer.
Is there anything else?
Wait,
Anybody else?
Hold on,
Yeah,
Jordan.
sure.
I want to talk about the next one for sure, but
Oh,
I
sure.
just want to acknowledge something here that I feel bears acknowledging, which is she ate a spoonful, then fed a spoonful to her husband.
Well, that's just scientific process. You need a larger sample size. You can't have an N of 1. You need to get more. Because what if your taste buds are just weird? You'd be like, oh, I didn't like this sourdough
Yeah.
starter, but maybe let me get a higher sample size on this.
Our colleague
Yeah, I
Jennifer
think it's there
Marmer,
for
the
you.
producer of Judge John Hodgman, is in the chat and has announced in all capital letters, my favorite subreddit. So support Jordan Jesse Go, support Judge John Hodgman at MaximumFun.org because we all have great taste in subs. What else have you got for us, Ellen?
Okay, I have another one if Steven wouldn't mind pulling it up because I don't remember what order I sent them in. Okay, so this was on a recipe for peach ice cream. If we could pull up the image. I don't like peaches, so I substituted carrots. It wasn't very good. It needs more sweetness.
I substituted a naturally sweet thing for a thing with zero sweetness, and now I'm mad that there wasn't more sweetness.
I
Like,
just want to
can't-
give out to all the. I just want to give a shout out to all the rabbits out there making ice cream.
Yeah.
Your ambition, I honor your ambition.
Like
We
as
see you. What's up, Doc? What's up, Doc? To all of you.
as someone from the southeast where peaches are quite popular and damn near sacred, I can't imagine a more sacrilegious crime than swapping peaches for carrots in like any context. I
I
can't.
can see this going down in the Bay, Ellen. This is some Bay Area shit. This is some shit that went down in fucking Berkeley, California, maybe Albany, neighboring Berkeley, Ellen. But I wouldn't get more than one town away from Berkeley. El
You've got like a
Cerrito
50-mile
could
radius.
be- yeah, I think what happened is somebody was reading the Moosewood cookbook, and then they switched very quickly to an online recipe search and didn't realize they had changed texts. This is like macrobiotic.
I'm just
version
thinking
of ice
about-
cream.
Those famous Georgia carrots. Everyone's
Yeah.
always going on about those Georgia carrots.
Right.
There is Jordan. I feel like there is. We talked some months ago about the foods with the narrowest bands of quality to poor quality, high quality to poor quality. I think my nomination was hot
yes.
dogs.
Yeah. Okay.
Where there's really no good hot dogs and no bad hot dogs. There's only acceptable hot dogs.
hmm
And I think peaches is on the opposite side of that spectrum. A bad peach has all of the weird fuzziness that makes your skin crawl a little bit when it hits your tongue. I'm a real texture head, Jordan. I'm definitely the texture one.
That's why I'm a nectarine girly.
Yeah, and none of the
you can rely on nectarines for more
Nectarines are always there for you.
consistent texture. Yeah, delicious.
whereas if you get a good peach, like I don't think there is a better fruit, right? Like I love fruit, as anyone who listens to this program knows, and a perfect mango, which is probably the best fruit overall, may not be as good as a perfect peach. Whereas
Also
a
mango
not very
built.
good
Yeah.
peach is garbage that's not worth eating.
I haven't had very many bad peaches, but I feel like I'm because living like within 30 minutes from the Georgia border, we got pretty good at feeling out
Yeah, yeah.
when is the right time to eat a peach. Like got pretty good at, feeling them out. You know what you're working with pretty much. I'm like a peach sommelier. You kind of pick one
Yeah.
up and be like,
You gotta nose the peach. You gotta nose the peach. And you gotta spit it into your little glass.
Mhm.
can't do that with carrots.
Yeah, I maybe don't feel that strongly about peach consistency, Jesse. I really like them. I think when they get too ripe, it's just too gross. I think the gunk factor is a little bit too gross. But I think a not quite ripe peach that is not super flavorful and it has a little crunch to it. I really like that texture a lot.
Peach the
And
big
even
fat.
if it's not like super sweet, super juicy, I don't know. Yeah, I like it. I like the mouthfeel.
No,
But yeah,
I'm a
when it
nasty
gets
freak.
to,
I
like
want that juice running down the corners of my mouth, Jordan.
I'm also a nasty
if you
freak
go to
for
like
peaches.
if you go to cut the peach and the knife like squishes into it, that's when I'm like a little bit grossed out. So I would rather maybe have it a little less juicy and a little more ripe. But you know what? None of us are wrong. We all have wonderful opinions.
There's a peach for everybody. It's not
Can
a
I
carrot
share
for
with you-
everybody.
Peach for
You're not going to get that
everybody.
with carrot.
There's a peach for everybody.
Can I share with you a wonderful opinion from the chat that I just noticed?
Oh my God, I would
Yeah.
love to hear a wonderful opinion.
This is from user Peeny. That's
Mhm.
Peeknee.
Right.
This person said, I'm here to say, all capital letters, Jordan is hot. Love him. He's hot, hot, hot like a tater tot. Agree.
That's
Thank you,
Hard
important.
Pete.
agree,
Thank
as
you.
they say.
That's important.
Thank you, Peeny. I
I don't know if
appreciate
people
it.
are saying that.
That's yeah, I've heard a lot of people are saying that. Ellen, is there another banger we can go out on? Is there one more post?
Stephen, could you queue up one more, please? I do have more. On a recipe for fish pie. Love that they got called out on it. Could we check that image? I highly recommend this recipe. For this, I replaced the mash with pastry, with the filling a little salty. I added chicken and mushroom and removed the fish mix and the prawns. So this was
It's just a chicken
They
pie.
just made a chicken pot pie.
so the author of the recipe says you made a chicken and mushroom pie with pastry instead of a fish pie with mashed potatoes. It just amuses me that you've highly recommended this recipe after making something completely different. And what I think this introduces is the concept of the pie of Theseus. Like the recipe of Theseus, I suppose. Like how many ingredients can you swap out
Ingredients.
before it's a new recipe entirely? It's a real philosophical conundrum.
And
That's
I
interesting.
love that this is ultimately a positive review. Like
Yes.
I loved it. This recipe worked great for me. I like it's like I love this hamburger recipe. I'm low carb, so I swapped out the bun for lettuce, and I don't eat meat, so I swapped out the filling, the patty, for mixed vegetables. You just made a salad. But-
I do like the idea of someone using a recipe not as a recipe, but more as like a mood board, like a sort of
Right,
Pinterest.
yes,
Like,
uh-huh,
here are the components that I'm going for. Like, here's a vibe I'm after.
I understand it. My mother is a pretty good cook, but she is, I think, probably, first of all, the last time I said something about my parents, it turned out my mom was watching on the live stream. So if you're watching on the live stream, Mom, hi. I love
Hi,
you.
Judy.
Hi.
Hi, Mom. I had mentioned that I think I got my names because my parents already hated each other so much that they picked names at random out of the Bible by the time I was in utero. And my mom just sent me the Wikipedia entry for Jesse from the Bible. Anyway, I love you, Mom. My mom's a good cook, but she's also just her brain is not a recipe following brain. It's not a matter of like for some people who don't follow recipes, like some moms specifically and grandmas who don't follow recipes, it's like a matter of pride. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where they're like, well, I make it the way I learned it from my grandma, and I don't need to follow the recipe, blah, 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 blah. I don't think my mom can follow the recipe. I just don't think her brain works that way. And so there's always the chance that she has spaced out 10% of the way through for 5% of the recipe and done something crazy on accident. Like she's a general, like I said, if she's cooking without a recipe, pretty consistent. But if she's following a recipe, usually, but sometimes not.
That's the improv break. That's the like no jazz piece is complete without a little break for improv in the middle. That's what it is.
Yeah.
There's a little
I
scat
think, yeah,
solo
I
in
think,
the middle.
I think the issue is just that
take it
your mom
away.
likes jazz too much, Jesse. If she just liked
mom
it's all about the
jazz.
ingredients you don't use.
My mom loves jazz. Barry
Right,
Harris.
yes.
Abdullah Ibrahim is a favorite of hers. Well, Ellen, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for sharing this subreddit with us. It is an absolute joy to enjoy. If you're out there and you are a Jordan Jesse Go listener, or you're just the Zoo of Us listener, or you're both, we hope that you will join us at MaximumFun.org/join. This is the very, very end of the Max Fun Drive. If you're listening on the live stream or watching on the live stream, the end of the drive is about 24 hours away. If you're listening on the RSS feed, it may be bonus time right now. So there is no excuse not to do it now. Go to MaximumFun.org/join. That's MaximumFun.org/join. Thank you to Stefano 00038, who said that they upgraded during in between yesterday's drive and yesterday's stream and today's stream from 35 to 50. Thank you so much, Stefano. That's an incredibly generous level. But I really want to emphasize to everybody there who is not yet a member, $5 a month is what really makes the difference. Becoming a member is what really makes the difference. So please go to MaximumFun.org/join. There's a lot of reasons to do it that are beneficial to you, like getting bonus content and thank you gifts and so on and so forth. I think the real reason to do it is if you think that the show is worth paying for, we hope that you will pay for it. A $5 a month membership is $1 an episode. And as our pal Jordan likes to say, you tip your bartender $1 a drink. Why not tip your podcasters $1 an episode? MaximumFun.org/join is the place to go. The link will also be right there in the description. So just pull out your podcast app and tap on that link, and we'll see you as members. If you're wondering, all of these streaming episodes of Jordan Jesse Go are going behind the member bonus wall at the end of the drive. So we hope that if you didn't catch all of them, you will become a member so that you can catch all of them. Ellen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so fun to talk to y'all. Thank
Jordan,
you.
you got any closing pitches here for people?
I mean, yeah, gosh, thank you so much. I'm so glad that everybody's been having fun with us. Always great to hear about people who are joining for the first time, people who are upgrading, people who have just been members for a long ass time. Like, that's amazing. I think maybe we don't say thank you to those folks enough. Thank you to people who have just like had a membership for 10 years and kept it going. Yeah, totally awesome. And yeah, hopefully the bonus stuff is making everybody happy. We love making it. There's a ton of it. Yeah, if you're thinking to yourself, you know, if you're just thinking of pure hours of entertainment, if the altruism isn't doing it for you and you're thinking of just like pure content, yeah, $5 a month will get you a ton of stuff, and including a ton of fun, weird stuff. Ellen, I think you mentioned you guys go off your normal fact-based regimen and just make up dumb bullshit.
Yeah, our bonus content is it's our dumb bullshit hour, basically.
Yes, and you know, our podcast is the dumb bullshit hour, but we do even dumber bullshit. over there in the member feed. So we recorded an episode on a boat. We did a drinking game where Jesse chugged weed soda. Tons and tons of stuff from all the shows over there. And I hope folks are digging it. It's really, really fun to make. I think when you do a podcast like this one that has I wouldn't say we have a format at Jordan Jesse Go, but we have a thing we do every week. But I think it's really fun for all the podcasters to just like do a little something new, do a passion project, do just a dumb idea they had. So yeah, I hope folks are digging that stuff. It's really, really fun to make.
In terms
Jordan,
of
would you
value for quantity, we're like the Costco of podcasts.
Yes.
Jordan, would you
exactly.
say that the thing we do, quote unquote, on Jordan Jesse Go is just repeat unusual phrases from last week?
Yeah, yes. I mean, but honestly, like it's a little bit like jazz if you think about it.
Thank you.
It's all about the unusual phrases you don't repeat.
I got to go eat some baking soda. MaximumFun.org/join is the place to go. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.
Thanks. Bye.
I'll hug you and kiss you and love you.
Love you.
Love you. Love you.
Love you.